McKendry and I'm Chairman of ATS. And I'd like to just acknowledge some of the other directors here, Alistair Boddy and Mark Saunders, of current board. Have I got everybody of the current board who's here this morning? And I'd like to also acknowledge some of the previous directors who are here. I know I saw Barry McLaughlin earlier, Jack Ross, who was in the original founding group, Brian Lowe, and there may be some others floating around, so sorry if I've overlooked you. I just haven't got the full name list in front of me. The ATS morning tea is just one event that's happening through this year, which is our 50th anniversary year. The 50th anniversary is a theme for the year. Rather than one big event, there's something happening each month, even every few weeks at times. Later in the winter we'll be having a ball. There'll be more of an informal celebration in August, and there will also be stuff happening like the ATS Install Days in July to celebrate the event. So this is just one of an ongoing series of events throughout the year, and it's great to see so many people turn up. ATS has remained the same as those original founding members. It's retained the same purpose those original founding members 50 years ago wanted for the local farmers, and that is to collectively work together in order to lower their input costs. And when I look back, it's a bit of a case of the more things change, the more they stay the same. We have more staff, we've changed premises, different brands, there's new faces, the way of doing business is different with deliveries, electronics, invoicing, that sort of stuff. But the core of a business, collectively farming families working together to lower their input costs, remains exactly the same, based here in Ashburton. In a number of over 50 years, the rest of the country has been served by other trading societies, and most of them have disappeared through various mergers that have occurred, and you'll all be aware of the most recent one. It's merged Farmlands and CRT together. So now all that's left is Farmlands, which covers all New Zealand, and ATS based here in Ashburton, which also covers all New Zealand, but with a local focus. An ATS has remained independent. It's remained, part of the reason for that is the local farming community is so strong, it's remained viable for ATS to do so. But I'm aware from my own time on the ATS board, but if ever there should have been an opportunity for merger that would have made our members better off, the boards would have considered it and taken advantage of it. But we've never seen the advantage to be part of another entity, how our members would be better off. And we know from our own benchmarking surveys, price comparisons we do, and various other measures and performance indicators we use, that remaining independent, forging our own path, and keeping our own identity, as we have for the last 50 years, is in the best interest of our members for what we can foresee. I'd like to acknowledge the many low membership numbers that are represented here today. There's a number of double-digit numbers going back to into the 20s, and there's quite a few membership numbers here today that are in triple figures. In other words, you're in the first 1,000 members. And we now have about 2,500 members. So if you're in the first 1,000 members, it puts you well back into the early 80s, I think, for when you signed up and joined. Very few of members leave the society or resign. There's a few die, and we allow them to resign for their estate. And there's a few, for some reason that's beyond me, shift to the North Island, away from mid-Canterbury. And they say they can't see any value and want to resign their membership then. So after much deliberation, we allow them to resign their membership too. But other than those extraordinary circumstances, other than those extraordinary circumstances I've just detailed, membership is a long-term affair for ATS members. And what that shows me, it reflects the intergenerational connection that ATS has with its farming families. And it's something that we really want to mark in this 50th years, and it's something that the current board and all the staff of ATS are very aware of. We know exactly who our members are, who we're serving, and what the purpose of the organisation is there for, and what we're there to do. no more from me other than a couple of housekeeping matters. Just help yourselves, I think it is, to the morning tea as it's served, and mix and mingle as you see fit. There's no more formal events happening during the morning. There are some journalists here who would like to mix and mingle a bit and get some stories out of you. Feel free to do that, and likewise I think it's Ashburton TV there. So you could star in the local TV if you wanted. Down the back of the wall, on the back wall, there's a Leave Your Mark in ATS History poster. And if you wish to, just grab one of the black pens and something that's happened to you at ATS or when you joined, or just make your mark on the timeline there, and you'll see various other people have. There'll be other opportunities to do that through the year as well. Grab your space now. And otherwise, enjoy the morning. It's just a pleasure to be here with so many members. And as I said, keep your eyes open for other things happening during the year. Before I step down, though, the last thing I'd like to do would just be to welcome Grandma and Granddad to the ATS morning tea.
That's not so good.
So you'll have to wait. As I say, you'll only get margarine on your biscuits. We haven't had time to make the butter. So enjoy yourselves, and congratulations to ATS on their 50 years. And we'll see you later.
I must tell you one little point. This fellow's called Gilbert. And when I lived my former life at Bar Hill, I had a neighbour called Gilbert Blair. And he was on the original committee of ATS. How many in the room remember him? Not many. That shows my age and yours. Have a good morning. Have a good morning.
Yes, well, I'm Jack Ross, and I was the first secretary of Ashburton Trading Society. I recall vividly attending the first meeting of half a dozen people who were interested in forming a rural cooperative in Jack Brand's lounge in 1963. And my partner, I was in an accountancy practice, my partner and I attended, and we were offered the job as secretary accountants for the new rural co-op that was starting in Ashburton. So that became, for 25 years I was secretary, and it became very much a part of my life. Because of the growth of the organisation, it was necessary for me to hand my tax work, a lot of the tax work, over to partners in the firm, but the Trading Society, as I said, was very much a part of my life, and it always has been, and I still value the association that I have with the Ashburton Trading Society.
When they asked us who could remember Gilbert Blair, and I put my hand up and said, well, that's a sign of your age. Well, Gilbert was chairman, I think he was chairman after Jack Brand, and he was full of ideas. He had most wonderful ideas, and a lot of them were harebrained. And the worst was he had a jet boat and used to go fishing somewhere above Wanaka, you know, around the Wat-Wats there. Be away for a fortnight, and he would come back full of these harebrained ideas, and we'd have to weed them out. And the odd one was good, but we always dreaded Gilbert coming back from his fishing expedition.
Hi, I'm Phyllis Reid. And I guess the reason that we did join was because Donald had been approached to be a board member, and then he got elected, and he was on it for 12 years. So we had a lot of dealings there. Yeah, it's been great.
And come the end of the first year, when they took stock, we found a drum of 200-litre drum of MCPB, and we don't know where it came from. It wasn't a stock loss, it was a stock gain. And we don't know where it was charged out and the farmer never picked it up, or whether the supplier supplied it and didn't charge us, we don't know. And I was telling Jack Ross my memory of the story not long ago, and he had no recollection of it.
Really?
So it mightn't be a true story, but I still think it's a good one.